Hello, I'm the Eternal Newbie. The extra L is for lousy, as in, I have had a lousy week of D&D. It started with betrayal, went through a couple of cancellations, and accumulated with everyone's favorite, ye old TPK. Before I tell you about what is the worst week of my Dungeons & Dragons life, business. But don't worry, I'll keep it short. I am really wanting to grow this little channel, so a like, comment, and especially subscribe would just be amazing. If you really like my stuff, tell a friend. If you don't, tell an enemy. I've got some other things going on right now, like a Discord, a gaming YouTube channel where I'm currently going through Final Fantasy VI, a Twitter, and even a Twitch channel. Info's in the video description. People often ask me, Newbie, how do you put out such high quality videos so often? Well, I play D&D. A lot. Basically, if I'm not working my day job, I'm playing Dungeons & Dragons. Or working on videos about Dungeons & Dragons. With the occasional break to record something for the gaming channel or play on Twitch. Come to think of it, that might not be very healthy. Whatever, that's future me's problem. Sucker. This particular week, I had 5 games lined up. It's a tough schedule to keep up, but not having a life really helps. 2 of these games were canceled, and sadly, those ended up being the highlights of the week. The 3 games that did go on, well, let's chat. The first game I want to talk about was run by a newbie DM. He's a bit too quick to help the party out, like when he gives us clues and stuff like that, but it is his first time, so it's cool. We are going through Tomb of Annihilation, and this week we had a new player sit in. New guy proceeds to impress us with how funny he can be. Every 2 minutes or so, it was a new... well, I guess technically you could call them jokes. It was super annoying, but I've got to take some of that on me. It wasn't a good week for me, in or out of game, so my patience was low. It would have been okay every once in a while, but every time he talked, it was something like this. You see a statue of a frog. I'm gonna go make faces at it. Oh, I forgot to mention Jokey's sidekick, who laughed at everything Jokey did. Everyone else just looked annoyed, but sidekick made up for it with volume. And a laugh that sounds like a hyena with a chicken bone stuck in its throat. Every single time. On an interesting side note, did you know if you Google annoying animals, most of the ones that come up are cats? Weird, right? But seriously, we ran into some goblins, and Jokey was all like, what's the deal with goblins? They aren't gob, and they don't lens. Don't worry, the video's not done. I just paused so you could fully appreciate Jokey's joke. Sidekick loved it. He brayed with laughter. The worst was a 10-minute scene of Jokey trying to convince the goblins who had just surrendered to us he is now their god. Because, as we all know, goblins are extremely religious. He failed when he threatened the leader. He fails when he kills the leader. And he fails when he threatens all the other goblins. And of course, they actually have a real god, or kind of a real god, but not some schlub that just came in and killed their leader with a bunch of people helping him and pretended to be a god that's so obvious anyone could see through in 2 seconds, even a goblin. Oh, is the mic still on? Whatever. Finally, the DM lets him have his goblin followers, because Jokey ain't giving up, and while Sidekick is totally enjoying his antics, none of the rest of us are. We're just sitting there twiddling our thumbs for like 10 minutes while he goes through this whole thing. I'm your god. Ooh, fear me. I'm your god. Ooh. Okay, he didn't actually make the ghost noises, because that might have actually been funny, and Jokey weren't funny. I bet you're wondering what was the result of all this waste of time and effort getting the goblins to be his minions? Well, we come to a door, and before we can do anything, Jokey says, now, let my minions open it. The goblins open it, then promptly disappear because, as we all know, goblins are extremely loyal. Jokey was annoying, but not the worst thing to happen this week. The honor of worst game of the worst week falls to my Curse of Strahd game, where we TPK'd. I've been through a lot of TPKs. I think the number is 6, 5, 7, I don't know. But this was one of the worst. There were 6 of us. Good looking bunch, right? We were walking down the road when all of a sudden we're attacked by werewolves. But not just any werewolves. These are Strahd werewolves. These guys have pack tactics, multi-attack, and when they hit you, make a con save. If you fail, you are infected with lycanthropy. Did I say that right? Lycanthropy? I think so. In a straight up fight, we maybe could have taken them down. We did have Esmeralda on our side, and she's pretty cool. The thing is, if you get lycanthropy on a full moon, you turn into a werewolf. So apparently, it's always a full moon in Barovia. Also, Strahd controls the werewolves, so once you turn, you lose your character. Let's investigate this, shall we? They get 14 advantage attacks every round. Every time you get hit, you make a con save. If you fail, you lose your character. Forever. They appear 10 feet from us. They are faster than us. This was not a battle. This was the DM killing us. C-3PO, what were the odds of us winning?
Approximately 3,720 to 1.
Think you might be off by a couple of orders of magnitude there, 3PO. 2 players are gone in the first round. Other than the Barbarian, we're all gone by the end of round 2. He actually made it to round 3. Good rolls on his saves. Now, I don't mind a challenge. I do mind dying in an impossible encounter. And this is the same DM who killed us with a water weird just a few months ago, in what I would consider a suspect manner. So this is his second TPK in basically 2 months. Him and I are going to have a talk about this next week. Anyway, moving on. The final game was, whoa, look at the time. I'm trying to cut these videos down a little bit, see if that helps maybe. So I'm going to save the last game for next week, I guess. Wait, no, hold on. Let me redo that. Tune in next week, faithful listeners, to hear the tale of the terrible, horrible, no good, very bad week. Next week. Here's a hint. It involves betrayal and beholders. So yeah, that was my week. How was your week? You know, when the highlight of your Dungeons & Dragons week is the game that is canceled, you probably should have stayed in bed. What was your worst Dungeons & Dragons week? Let me know about that in the comments. Sadly, work is starting to get kind of busy, so I don't have the time to reply anymore, but I definitely still read them. Thanks for watching, and as always, play your character. Don't let your character play you.